Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cherisse. Um, I don't know if you guys can really see right now, but the chair is a little bit squished because my dog Indy yeah, he didn't want to get up. Life has been so extremely chaotic lately. I think a lot of people are going through a lot of intense craziness and have been for a while now. I definitely forgot to brush my teeth before this, and I don't think I've brushed my teeth in like 2 or 3 days, and I don't think that I've made my bed in like a couple weeks, which are a couple of my daily self care habits that I try to stay on top of, even if I'm not feeling so good. So that definitely shows a little bit of where I've been at recently. At the same time, like, it's okay. I will brush my teeth today, and I will probably not make my bed. We'll see. Um, Definitely really struggling with the ups and downs of getting really depressed about kind of where I'm at and just feeling all this fear because I think one of my biggest issues lately has been around distrusting people while longing for deep connection, um having that very deep desire for real connection, but then also struggling with feeling like I should not let anybody in because all these trust issues have risen up. And last night I was crying and I could not sleep till probably 9 a.m. this morning, and it is currently a little after 1, so I got up at like 12:30. I only slept for a few hours, but I was having such severe anxiety, and it's like my mind wouldn't stop just worrying about everything that other people might be thinking about me, or how I just shouldn't let people in, or that maybe I showed too much of myself. And then I just started getting really down about all the chaos that's been going on in my life. I'm not going to go into all the details, guys, but it has just been like one intense thing after another. Right now, I am getting rides to do a lot of my errands because my car is barely drivable. I even, on Saturday, I bought this bicycle and literally, I put it in the back of my car, and then 15 minutes I got in it to drive my friend to the gas station, and my car would not drive. It would not shift into drive. Thankfully, I did get that part fixed, hopefully. I think I just needed to add some transmission fluid, so it's driving now, but there are still some other issues with the engine that makes it not able to drive far because it overheats so quickly. But last night, as I was just having this, well, I guess this morning, having this mental breakdown, I had this kind of like peaceful realization that going with the flow does not always mean ease. And the least, and the path of least resistance also does not necessarily mean ease. Like, yes, you can incorporate ease in the way that you react to what is going on in your life, but going with the flow and going the path of least resistance does not mean that chaos and destruction will never enter. It doesn't mean those things are never going to enter your life. Unfortunately, I guess at this point it feels like an unfortunate. At some point, I'm gonna feel more positive about all the crazy shit that I'm going through. That's just a part of life. And I thought of this one thing, that it was like going with the flow doesn't always mean ease. Sometimes it means the rapids. Sometimes it means that whatever you're on going down that river is just destroying your boat, and it's just tearing it apart. It's just starting to flood in there. All of a sudden, there's a fucking shark in the river, and you're like, what the hell is going on right now? Sharks do not belong in rivers. Are you fucking kidding me? What the actual hell is this? Sometimes that is literally how life feels, and how at least I personally react to life sometimes, because it's like, what the actual fuck is going on right now? I didn't see that coming. In a positive way, you can look at it as in further down the line, you could build a better raft. You could learn how to maneuver that river better. the more practice that you have, the better that you get. And I think that that applies to things like fun things and hobbies and sports, as well as it applies to life in general. And while I totally understand the aspect of I am fucking sick and tired of it life, I have proven that I'm strong enough. Thank you, and please stop. At the same time, I'm grateful that I can come out on the other side of that and find the silver lining and be positive and practice gratefulness for even those chaotic things that I'm going through, because I definitely recognize that I feel like I'm having this internal glow up in a way, and in a lot of ways, an external glow up. While, yes, there are these times like last night where I just feel absolutely plagued with social anxiety and I'm not even around people. I'm not even going around people. Today's my day off. I wasn't anxious about the things that I had to do today because I don't even have to go to work. It's just sometimes you have those low moments, and sometimes you're still processing anxiety and sadness and grief or frustration or whatever the negative emotion might be. Like loneliness has been one of the biggest ones for me. And just because you're going through that shit does not mean that you're doing anything wrong. There is a lot of toxic positivity within the healing spiritual community, as well as people who are not even necessarily consider themselves a part of that community. I've made videos about this recently about how it's okay to not be okay, how it's okay to feel ungrateful. And also, I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because your life is going through a storm and chaos does not mean that you're a bad person, and it does not mean that it's bad karma either. Good Bad things happen to good people all the time, and good things happen to bad people all the time. And sometimes that feels really unfair in life, but that is also an aspect of life. Sometimes it feels out of control because sometimes there is a lot of things that are out of your control. But like I said in I think my last video, that while life can make you feel powerless at times, it is very self-empowering to learn to let go of the control of things that you can't control, while also taking your control back in the ways that you can. Which often stems down to how you react in those situations, how you choose to move forward with what has happened in your life after that point. Are you going to go and build a better raft, or are you just going to stick to the one you got and continue being like, oh, I don't know why it's not? Sometimes life requires you to learn other skills and personality traits, especially for those of us that are on a type of manifestation journey, which I think everybody is. We are constantly manifesting all the fucking time. Even if you are not consciously and purposefully and intentionally manifesting, sometimes when you have a goal in mind of who you want to be, and when you are speaking those positive affirmations of your life over your life, and I don't want this to instill fear in anybody to be afraid of creating a positive voice in yourself, that sometimes when you are trying to transform yourself and you're creating change in yourself, life around you is going to change as well. And it's not always your fault because of whatever. Like I said, I really do believe that there are a lot of things that are out of our control that just happen. But a lot of the things that happen are absolutely building us into the people that we want to be. And it might not feel like it at that time, and it might suck, and you might be like, I'm kind of over this. Maybe I just want to stay this way because I'm just kind of tired of being broken down and morphed and pressured into being a diamond. What if I don't want to be a fucking diamond? What if I like being a piece of fucking coal? Like, actually, I like black. I don't personally, well, that's funny because I am wearing black, but black is probably my least favorite color. But you get the concept. I think I just want like anybody that needed to hear this to feel encouraged that if your life is in chaos, it's not because you're doing anything wrong. Sometimes it is because you're doing something right. And that totally can feel not encouraging at all to hear sometimes. But for some of you, it will feel encouraging. Going with the flow also means maneuvering through the chaos and the destruction that life hands you. It's not always just about things being easy. It's about taking shit as it comes your way. It's about embracing the good times and embracing the bad times. Allowing yourself to experience both. And I heard this speaker say in one of her videos a couple days ago, and she's going through a really dark period in her life as well. And she said something along the lines of allowing yourself to experience the darkness fully allows you to experience the light more fully as well. When you allow yourself to the full spectrum of human emotion and the fullness of what life is handing to you, including the bad times and the bad days, all that chaos and destruction, when life is not going the way you planned or you wanted, and you feel discouraged and down and sad and depressed and anxious, just allowing yourself in that state and accepting yourself in that state, it encourages you to feel even more deeply when the positive aspects of life are also happening. It's not going to remain dark forever unless you let it. Another thing that I've said in many videos is that you have every right to feel any emotion that rises up, no matter how negative it might feel or seem to others or yourself, but don't stay there. Life is bound to improve for you, and good things are bound to happen for you. Going with the flow when life hands you some bullshit means that you're allowing yourself to maneuver out of that at whatever rate you are able to maneuver out of that and into a more positive feeling time. You never know what could be around the next bend. You never know how much calm or joy could be around the next bend. So don't give up. I genuinely do believe that life is bound to improve. One of the affirmations I do not speak over my life is that it can only get worse. I prefer the affirmation of it can only get better from here. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to only create good times after this point, but it reminds me to be hopeful. That life can feel better than it ever has. That something so beautiful and magical and majestic can happen for my life in a way that I never expected. Even in ways that I never believed in. That's another thing, is that I feel like sometimes it can feel very discouraging how a lot of the teachers are like, you have to feel it, you have to believe it for it to come true, yet life constantly proves to me when I don't believe in things and I don't feel them. Sometimes it's actually the things I put almost no energy into whatsoever. As if they are not a part of my life and never will be a part of my life. And they happen for me all the time. Miracles happen for me all the fucking time. Things that I never thought would transpass have. And a lot of the times, like I told somebody this morning, that life does not always happen in our timing that we desire. but you are so capable to create that for yourself. And sometimes the things that you want to achieve, whether for yourself, for your life, for your relationships, whatever it is, sometimes it can feel like it is so out of reach. And sometimes it happens way faster than you think. I never thought that I would be living in my own apartment with a stable full time job that I've now been in for 7 months. I think that this is the longest I've held down a job in a long time. I will say I did work on a farm for like a year, but other than that, it has been like 6 years since I've held down a job for this long. And I honestly thought I would be 40, at least 40, when I could finally have my own place and have a stable job, because I just didn't believe in myself that much. I thought my mental health issues would always just be tearing me down and that I could never improve that quickly. And look, here I am. I'm 30 years old and I've already achieved that. This isn't necessarily where I want to be long term at all. But sometimes life surprises the living shit out of you. Sometimes life has a different goal in mind and a different timing in mind, and sometimes it can be very disappointing, and other times it can be very encouraging. I think that's why I still feel a little bit encouraged right now, despite the intense chaos of my life and how much it has been breaking me down. Just breaking me the fuck down. I've been crying every fucking day, just from overwhelm and feeling deeply saddened, and just feel like life is beating the living shit out of me. I just keep thinking I need a break. I want a break. And I think the part that keeps my head up, that encourages me to not give up, is looking back at how far I've come so quickly, how much I've been through. I constantly remind myself that I'm a fucking badass and how capable I am. Because I'm constantly proving to myself how capable I am. And I'm surprising myself all the time still. Like, damn, Shadi, you are doing fucking well. Even though sometimes at the same time I'm not. Miracles are possible. And turnarounds that can happen like that are absolutely possible. Alright, you guys. That is going to be it for my video today. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope that you will be here for the next video. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go call my friend to run some errands and pay my electrical bill. But I believe in you guys. I love you, and I hope that you have an absolutely amazing and beautiful day. And I'll talk to you next time.